Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Bill.
And we're here to talk about our Christmas presents. We opened them last time. Today we are going to be reviewing what we got. I am very excited to talk about, at least mine, and even add in an extra one in there.
You're crazy.
An extra one.
You're freaking crazy, dude. Where do you obviously you can't watch movies on two times speed. That's the thing. Do you just block out specific movie time?
I try my best to. I really try to block out a specific amount of time where I'm I am going to be watching this. Even during that time, between when we recorded to today, I watched Saw 3 with a bunch of teacher friends. We're doing our Saw marathon, so a bunch of them got to see Saw 3 for the first time.
Wow,
lots of fun.
In school? Are you watching Saw 3 in
the
inside school walls?
You can't be.
Saw 3 inside school? No, I'm kidding.
I was like, I'm calling the dang school. I don't even got a kid there.
It was a free day. We
Saw 3 would be crazy because that's the only Saw that has nudity. So that would be even crazier.
Sweet spot. Yeah.
Okay. We created a Saw head by doing this because one of the teachers after Saw 3 was like, I'm watching Saw 4 by myself, and when we watch it, I will rewatch it with you guys, but I am going on.
Wow. Oh, a Saw head. Oh, okay, wow, yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Which is great. We need more people appreciating Saw. Appreciates the Saw movies, guys. They're soap operas. It's great.
In retrospect, they are. If you're watching them for the first time, though, it's kind of wow. Although I haven't seen past 6. So maybe I've fallen behind.
After 6, there's only one good one. So
That is true. Do you guys ever hear the theory of Saw continuity? You ever hear about this? You ever hear about this concept? It goes on, and you guys have watched. Oh God, it's been so long since I've seen some of the earlier Saw movies, but I remember weirdly everything matters. Weirdly, everything always comes perhaps to a detriment. There are no drop threads. You know, it's you didn't remember this happening you know what I'm saying? It's weirdly tight continuity across movies, and it's good. I'm glad it's there, but it is a little interesting that it's why Saw? Anyway. Yeah.
Funny enough, Saw 3 is the most important Saw movie because 4, 5, 6 all reference it and do so many flashbacks to Saw 3 that if you didn't really pay attention to Saw 3, there's going to be moments you're going to be what the hell is going on?
Okay.
And something funny that we were talking about before the podcast even started about issues with Stranger Things Season 5, Saw keeps its continuity. It does a great job of keeping the bathroom looking the same, and can't say the same thing about Stranger Things.
I will I will say there was a post. Okay, so I saw Saw X with a newbie, right? With a newbie. It was my my friend Greg. That I think you guys know, drums for the band, but it was really funny because watching the entire movie, it actually stands alone pretty well, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely benefited from knowing certain things, but I remember there's a certain post-credits scene.
Yes.
Saw X. And I don't wanna super go into it or super spoil it, but it's somebody that's not featured at all in the movie, and then he shows up at the very end, and he gets some epic lines, and then the movie ends, and Greg was like, "Who is that? What? Why did that just happen? Why is everybody cheering?"
Oh my god, when he says epic bad luck, to the guy.
Bro,
Oh,
keep
I
saying
say that all the time to my kids. Whenever like, something
just
bad
epic
happens,
bad luck.
I'm like, epic bad luck.
That's just epic bad luck. That is so freaking funny because that's the exact same line that stuck out to me. Oh, you crossed Jigsaw? That's just epic bad luck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
See, and that's the thing, Nick.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Saw X,
Yeah.
Saw X
Nope.
is peak. Saw X is so good.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Like,
It's really good.
It.
Yeah.
I'm putting out there. It's top 3. Like Saw
easy,
movie.
Easy. It could be. It could. I would not be surprised if people were like, "Oh, it's my favorite Saw movie," or at least
I would not be surprised either.
Yeah,
It is
no, it's
very
good.
well made. I mean, Saw does a great job of fleshing out characters and like the reasons
Yes.
for like the games, even through the most of the bad movies. There's always that through line of like, yeah, like this is horrible what's happening, and like I could sympathize with this character, or I do not agree with them, but you know I can understand this. Saw X does an amazing job of doing that and having you really care about the victims and the saw traps, even though either some of them aren't the best people or are just
Right, usually
having
it's
epic bad luck in life, you know, like it. But unfortunately we're not here to talk about Saw X. We're here to talk about.
You stay on movies. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll take it from. Sorry, you take it from here. It's just so
I
easy to
could-
talk about Saw.
I know. I could do a whole podcast about Saw. I mean, I could do a whole podcast about all the Saw movies, but we
Interesting
cannot do that.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean,
Those over here like, I'll do it right now.
I would understand that is treading a lot of ground that has already been tread.
Yeah.
Because the
in one
reason I-
episode too. Like you have
Yeah,
to separate
yeah.
every single movie. There's 10 of them.
Yeah. The reason I know about that continuity business is because like I did like watch a retrospective series and they were like, oh, this happens, like everything's connected, like weirdly, like and I was like, oh, interesting, But what movie are we starting with first?
I want to start with it because it is the most recent in my head. And
Okay.
Bill, it was one of your movies that you had to watch.
Death.
Let's talk about The Rite.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. I don't know, for some reason I just thought you were going with the Giallo. Okay, yeah, let's talk about The Rite. This movie was given to me by Nick. Thank you so much, Nick. Can I ask
That's
you
me.
something? Can I
Yeah.
ask you something?
Yes.
And sorry, this isn't like me being like, huh? Why? Why this movie?
After watching
Sorry,
it again,
this is-
I also am very curious about this question.
Yes. So no shade, but just what was your thinking?
So, some lore about the movie.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm eating a chocolate raisin.
I will say that's really funny. I was like, "What's Bro smacking his lips up?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro's smacking his lips.
ASMR podcast.
Chocolate raisin sounds good as hell right now. Can you pass some through the cyberspace?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
You got a raisin from a desperate boy.
I'm like pulling it out of my hard drive. Okay. Yes.
So why? So fun fact about this movie, the movie is featured on the horror movie list that Dylan, our previous guest, has been on a couple
Right.
of times. It's on the list that him and I watched in college when we would watch horror movies and rank them. And to be honest, it was one of those things where I didn't realize how many. I didn't realize how common exorcism was in horror movies before I watched it. I also didn't realize that Anthony Hopkins had been in another horror movie that doesn't get talked about.
Right. Well, he's defined by Sounds of the Limbs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And so you think like, he's got to be a horror movie kingpin. I think The Rite is a really interesting example of the theme of exorcism and what it looks like when Anthony Hopkins perhaps can't save a film, or how much Anthony Hopkins adds to a film. I also Wanted to make sure it wasn't as bad as the one I got you last year.
Okay.
Can I
so-
say that this one's
okay,
worse?
Can I? Can I?
Worse.
Okay, because I was gonna be slightly less shady and say, this one was not as bad, but it was pretty fucking close. Pretty close. Okay, can I start with a general? I'm gonna start with a general thing. I have always found, and I feel we're in a golden age, whatever you want to call it, of like super. Well, actually, okay, sorry, we are not in a golden age, maybe right currently of supernatural horror films, right? And like the idea of exorcism. I think we were. I think Conjuring. I think the Conjuring universe.
The Conjuring,
were.
Yes.
when that came out, that was probably the
Blumhouse era of like, yeah. And also I want to say before you continue, Bill, I'm sorry. Right now, no spoilers for the movie. I will, if you want to say spoilers, just give that warning, but I would say for right now, no spoilers just yet.
I'm cool with that. Actually, good note. This is kind of something from weirdly my own life, just like a tiny bit. So I always found supernatural, exorcism, like all stuff like that, very interesting. We were in a golden age. We really aren't now with Blumhouse. This like would have been, I guess, sort of a trailblazer, 2011. About there, right? Maybe not a trailblazer, maybe like the early period of the golden age, right? Maybe a cash grab, right? But
maybe a cash grab.
Maybe.
I mean, with Anthony Hopkins, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: I used to be, I used to serve a church. Like I used to be an altar server. I was pretty deep in it, right? I will tell you, like, I was sort of like, I remember I was like starting to like look into like that kind of stuff and everything. And one time I stumbled across like, like the priest I was serving's, literal, just straight up, I'm just gonna go out there and say it, like exorcism gear, like things that would be used to perform an exorcism. And like I was like, what is all this stuff? Like I like identified some of it, like incense, like smokers and stuff, like certain stuff about it. But I remember being like, oh, so like what do you say? Like exorcisms are real? Like this like happens, like in real life, like like everything. And he was like, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like I was kind of like what? Like like I was like yeah, like it was like straight up, like he was like, oh yeah, like it's not common by any means, but yeah, it does happen. Like you should, like if you're a priest, you should know how to do that. And it was a frank honesty. Sorry, this is somebody I did at the time and continue to trust. Very kind of crazy thing. So this was already kind of okay. That is something that I think about as kind of like a core memory when it comes to supernatural horror movies. I was hoping for that kind of feeling with this movie. Never quite came. Can I say something? This movie feels pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And sorry, I want to say we watched some real stinkers. We watched some real stinkers on this podcast.
But it's not the worst horror movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, this is not that bad.
No.
Yeah, choose your fighter: Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, or the Rite. Like,
bro, what was the one? Moonhead, or whatever.
Moonhead.
oh wait, the Moon Man one where bro is or whatever it's. Oh my god, that was bad.
The Moon Murderer.
Moonstalker.
Moonstalker.
Yeah.
That was stands out to me as one of the worst ones we've ever
That one was bad.
reviewed. That one was real
Mr.
bad.
Crockett.
Oh, real bad. Real like, oh, this is like truly like, like B-list or stuff. There was definitely like somebody like on the screen here. It is kind of interesting though, because I guess it's like Anthony Hopkins trying to portray a sort of like conflicted religious figure, Do you guys find this interesting? This initial like setup that he's like oh like I'll defraud like like it's very interesting like he has this
doubts.
Yeah, he cites a lack of faith, which is interesting. Like I'm just gonna say as a general thing.
That's what I liked about it too. I remember when I first saw it because it was this is not a traditional priest character.
It's it's I will say I thought the initial thing in the movie was gonna be this like weird Ghostbuster thing because it's like the amount of demonic possessions is on the rise if only somebody would step up to the task of and I thought he was gonna be some what I'm saying what I'm going for here.
Yeah, Mr. Exorcist. Mr. Father Exorcist.
Yeah, it's like don't call me Mr. Exorcist. That was my dad. It's this kind of this whole early plot. Sorry, I'm struggling to man. I don't know if I love this setup with the whole $100,000 if take your vows or don't take your vows and it's just weird it's sort of no, I don't like this because I want it to be a crisis of faith and it's the gaining or rejecting of faith that is progressing him on a character arc. I don't want this monetary thing even though hey maybe that is really real, right? I don't know. I'm interested to hear your guys' thought about it, though. This sort of, first act, and I know that we can't spend, buku time on each movie, but, I'm interested to hear your guys' general thoughts.
Yeah. I think I always love when these movies have, at the start, the based on a true story. And, I'm just oh, here we go.
Totally
here we go. The biggest issue is, it's just not interesting. I don't care about our main character. And Anthony Hopkins is acting his heart out. I mean, you could tell he's the strongest actor of everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the possessed girl is pretty good as well. I think she's probably the second best. I think she does a very good job.
The one exorcism scene is the scene that stands out in my mind, and that's Anthony Hopkins and the girl. So
right.
Yeah. But other than that, it's just there's just moments where the movie kind of lulls and it's we're going to show this guy struggling with faith. But in reality, it's just him looking out a window and then walking through a room and then sitting down and, oh, there's a poison dart frog in my room. Yeah, I still don't believe in God. What?
Send me a sign, God. A frog.
Yeah, I still don't believe.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, halfway through, it's just your father's passed away. It's what? When did this happen? And then he's oh, man, I just don't believe anymore. What?
It's this whole fucking the whole point of the movie is to get to this point where it's oh yes, you can see that clearly I am possessed now. And it's here we go, final boss, climactic, thing. And I know I'm entering into spoiler territory.
Yeah, we could spoiler range.
Yeah,
we could do it.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it, watch it. I don't know, fam.
Someone who really liked exorcisms in movies.
Yeah, watch The Exorcist.
Yeah, I can recommend 10 movies to you before this one, so respectfully. It's not sorry, and Nick, I also don't want you to think
this is jokes,
Oh no. I will say, I do tilt my movies towards good for you guys. I'm not gonna have my friend sit around for an hour and a half, 2 hours watching. Sorry, and to be clear, this is not what you did. This is not what you did, Nick.
No,
but
no,
when it's hot garbage, I'm bro, I have something to do.
Just Nick next year is I'm giving him Moonstalker 2. Okay.
I remember giving you Pin last year because I thought it was an actually good movie.
I like Pin.
Yeah.
Pin was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the ish. Here's the ish. Let me break through all of this.
Sure.
One, I don't know what movies you guys have seen. I know what movies Ryan has seen because he updates his Letterboxd.
Oh, come on.
Ba-
You want me to?
Damn,
You want me
damn.
to? You
Get
want full
called
access to
out.
my letterbox? Better start learning Korean, buddy. I'm fucking around.
But it's tough. It is tough. Like figuring out what movies y'all have seen. I do this like weird panic thing where I'm like, okay, I've seen this one. I've seen this one. Oh, maybe I don't think Bill's ever talked about this one. Okay, and with Ryan, it's like I've never heard of this movie in my life. I've never heard of anybody say this movie. That means there's a 50% chance that Ryan has seen it.
Yes, it's one of those things. Ryan, I'm really scared to buy for, and
Yeah.
sorry. Every time you've not seen something, Ryan, and you mention on the show that you've not seen something, I do write it down. I do write it down.
Yes.
But I was, for some reason, I decided to go with a movie that I was pretty convinced you hadn't seen. But well, it's okay. It's okay.
No,
We'll get there when
I'm
we get there.
honestly so happy that you sent it
Final-
because I can't wait to talk about it.
Final review, quick review on the Rite for me. This movie doesn't quite sit right with me. Not even Anthony Hopkins is enough to pull this one out of a kind of consistent nosedive. I give it like a 2 out of 5, 2.5 maybe. I don't know. Sorry, I did enjoy myself though.
I gave it a 2.5 out of 5
Okay.
on Letterboxd. And I did say Anthony Hopkins adds a star to this because of how
Wow.
good he is.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good. I think it's a good study on Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I think like that alone is like, okay, Anthony Hopkins is Silence of the Lambs. Let's see how he is in another horror movie and like see how much he stands out. I think like that's why it stands out to me. Now, I have to be transparent here. I'm looking back at the ranking list that Dylan and I made of the 46 movies. I think there's 50 actually, but
God
he's missing
damn.
some. We have ranked it at 33.
Oh, I expected. Well, okay, that's actually really fucking funny. Because I would bet if I watched the 50 movies that you guys watched, this would probably end up right around 35.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That tracks.
so yeah,
Okay,
That does
that
all
tracks.
right. Mm-hmm.
I like to see this list sometimes, just so I know what not to
You
get
can.
to.
You should follow Dylan on in Letterboxd. We both have ours. We have so we did a scare factor of the same list, and I have the scare factor list on my Letterboxd, and he's got the quality movie ranking list on his.
That's really fun. You also just reminded me there's a movie I'd like to see that I've not seen. That's kind of a famous movie. But anyway, sorry. This is a total reminder. We can edit this part. Well, sorry. I'll just say it's Tremors. It's the movie
Ooh,
Tremors.
I love Tremors.
Tremors.
I've never seen Tremors. I've heard it's funny.
It's
kind of
very funny.
It's kind of funny
Is
as
it?
its first thing, which is very.
It's very
interesting.
funny.
Is it like a well? Okay, we won't talk about Tremors here. Perhaps to be first, early in the new year. Oh, and cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing the list, Nick.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna jump in.
What's next?
And I'm gonna talk about Ravenous. Like I said, I am so excited to
Cool.
talk about this again.
Cool.
So, have either of you guys seen Ravenous?
I have. It
Okay.
was a while ago though. I had a weird American West phase that kind of and it's all above board. We're good, right? Manifest Destiny was wrong, but it does make some really good, makes for some great films. What did you think? Ryan?
Okay. I think there's a couple of things that I want to mention before we start talking about the movie. Number one, Jeffrey Jones being in this movie. Known
Whoops.
terrible person who solicited pictures of a minor.
Yep,
yeah.
really bad.
And
You know that guy?
he's someone that you'll see from
No, I do
movies
not.
and you're like, oh, it's this guy, like this freak.
Bro, I just had that happen to me watching Amadeus with some friends.
Yes, he's the emperor, right?
The emperor. He's the Emperor Leopold. And I'm like, oh my god! And then, of course, very famously, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he's the principal.
Yes.
Oh,
Shit
him.
on, yeah. That gets like shit
Yes.
on, yeah. Real presence in the 80s and 90s, but of course he's not well regarded.
And on top of that, I want to mention as well that the music is done by Damon Albarn, who is from the rock band Blur, you know, and Gorillaz.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I was like
Really?
Damon Albarn of Gorillaz and Blur. Wait.
Yeah.
I didn't know that shit.
Sweet.
He composed. Sorry, I thought you were about. Okay, dude. I thought you were about to be like, oh, and Damon Albarn's also canceled. And I was like,
No.
what the freaking does Damon Albarn do? Okay.
It was a duo between him and Michael Nyman, I think it is.
Huh?
Don't quote me on that.
you're
Who's
good.
like a more like orchestral, like the quote unquote professional composer. You know, like seasoned, gonna write like Symphony Number 6 for violin.
Movie, right,
You know.
for like that. Yeah.
I love the music in this. I love Ravenous. Like, second rewatch, I'm like, this is great. Tonally, all over the place. And that has to do with it being made by 3 directors. First one gets fired after 2 weeks. Second one is the producer, and the cast says, hell no, we're not gonna do this with you as director. And then ends on our final director. I think Ravenous is so much fun. Cannibal movie. It is has David Arquette in it, like post Scream fame, so it's not like he's new guy on the block. It has Guy Pearce in it, who is before he was famous.
Bruh, seeing Guy Pearce in here was crazy. Because Guy Pearce
And he's
is like
incredible.
He's like a really respected actor. I was like, this is early for him. This is like L.A. Confidential early, kind of. Yeah.
Very strong cast and characters that are very memorable, moments that are memorable. Its biggest issue is its tone, because it's made by 3 different directors. There's moments where like it shifts so quickly from horror to comedy, like way too quickly, where it's like, oh, that's what you're saying in this moment, and then it goes back to being super serious, and then it switches again. I think that's its biggest issue, but other than that, I think the story is so much fun, being set in like the 1800s, talking about like manifest destiny. We have some like Donner Party references in it. The performances are great. I think we see a real struggle with our main character that I don't want to say that we understand, I guess, what he's going through, but we could be sympathetic towards him. You know, a lot about like PTSD, since he's a soldier. And yeah, Bill, I know you just said you watched this, so why did you think of this movie for me?
I have this certain fascination when it comes to period pieces of this kind of type, where something that like we take for granted is that we live in a very interconnected world, right? Like if something bad happens to you, you can probably get help, right? And like not only like, you know, like help as a general sense, like good reliable help from like, you know, people that are like trustworthy, right? Something about like stories of like, you know, just pioneer life in general, and like, you know, that kind of like being, you know, pushed to sort of like what is considered the kind of like pale of settlement, it's just so interesting to me, because like, you know, it's that's almost horrific in and of itself, right? You know, if a situation was to arise where like it's like, oh well we're just not gonna, like, are we gonna make it through this, right? Combining that with something like cannibalism, that is cannibalism in horror movies is interesting, right? It is so, it's so trope prone and weirdly
Bill,
yes,
Bill,
yeah.
are you saying you like cannibalism in movies? Like, do you really eat it up?
All right, wow. This is a great episode. I think it was great. I think we can do a wrap on this one. I've not been. Thank you, Nick. I've not been a stranger to saying a three stranger to saying how much I love the movie Parents, the 1990s movie with Dennis Quaid, Randy Quaid. I'm so bad with the Quaids, and now there's even more. There's even more Quaids in this. I think the movie's great. I think because it uses cannibalism as a metaphor for certain family dynamics and what you will and won't do for family. While I don't think Ravenous entirely hits the nose exactly on the head, god dang, in Ravenous existed a really good movie, right? But it just turns out to be a pretty good movie, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think even though they kind of try and sort of try, it's like, cannibalism is they try to stitch together this idea that cannibalism is like like they're equating it to the hunger, quote unquote, of manifest destiny and imperialism, in a way that I don't think is super well calibrated. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Ryan, but
they kind of say it like they tie it to like the Wendigo, and this movie does probably one of the most accurate depictions of the Wendigo, whereas other movies make it like half animal, half man, which is not true.
Right.
It's just the belief of if you eat someone that you basically take their strength and their spirit from them.
Right. And become
and
something else.
Yes, and you could kind of see where that ties into Manifest Destiny, where they're going with that. I think it works with the time period. They have Native American actors in the movie that aren't just like, oh, I am going to be the quote-unquote person that's just going to say this is what this is, and that's all my character's use as.
Such a shitty trope. So common. Just like fucking like it's like, oh yes, of course, like the Native American legend of the Wendigo. It's like thank God it's more than that. Yeah.
Yes, like they're actual they are actual characters in this movie, George and Martha. And they're great. I love their relationship with David Arquette in the movie. Or, if we're doing an Adam Sandler movie and it's Rob Schneider that's going to play a Native American character. So I'm very glad that, and this is the 90s. The end of the 90s, but still we're having representation, which is amazing. I love that we're going to have that, and that's something I'm going to talk about when we get to Rosario that I really appreciate in that movie. I want to wrap up since we still have a lot of movies to talk about, but I gave this 4 stars on Letterboxd out of 5. This movie also, a lot of, oh God, how do I word this? The gay vibes are unreal in this movie.
Oh yeah?
And
is it like a queer film?
No. Well, like it's one of those where it's like I was watching it and I was like, am I picking up on something? And then like after I finished, I like went onto like Letterboxd to like put in my review, and I saw the other reviews and they were like gay boys in the mountain or like things like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one that
it's got some Brokeback Mountain ash vibes, but ash vibes. But I will say that I don't think that's like sure. I don't think that's what the movie's about though.
No, it's not at all. But it's very funny seeing it and being like, like the ending very specifically, which I won't spoil for people. But
right, we shouldn't.
Those two boys are close together, man. There.
Listen, like, I Want You has a whole different meaning in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, definitely you should check it out, Nick.
Sounds, all right. Yes. Sounds like it's a recommended film.
I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, that's fair. And I will say my Letterboxd review was David Arquette is making me feel ravenous. So.
a star-studded cast, minus a certain star that doesn't shine as brightly anymore. But that's okay.
Yeah. So, all right, let's keep on going, Nick. It's your turn.
All right. Okay, so I'm adding Ravenous to my watch list right now.
Good idea.
Yeah, because I use Letterboxd.
Brother, do not come for my damn neck. All right. I finally got around to watching Clerks, which I don't think we'll ever do an episode on. It was good though. Anyway,
it's okay. One of my students that graduated now follows me on Letterboxd, and
commenting on your stuff constantly.
And she sent me one of my reviews and was like, "What did you mean by that?" And
called the fuck out,
which was very funny. But you could go, Nick.
Was it a good film? What was it? Was it a good review?
It was for Penn.
Oh no!
It was for Penn.
Yeah.
It was for Penn.
Oh,
and that
sexual horror movie.
And for that one, my Letterboxd review was Penn. How do I pull?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well, that's your ethical boundary to deal with.
There you go.
Going to my film from Brian, Luciano Ercoli's Death Walks at Midnight. So something that I didn't expect, but also was kind of a nice surprise about this movie is it's really like it's not. I don't know if I'd consider it a horror movie or giallo. I guess this is giallo, the giallo genre, and maybe it's something that I'm realizing about giallos a lot more is that it's kind of a mystery.
Yes, it is mystery.
Giallo film is a mystery, and that's like it's not so much like a spy thriller, but an investigative thriller with horror elements. And I really enjoyed that. It's not a perfect movie. There's like a really, I think there's a major question that's left. Like in the very first scene, we see a woman being drugged, experimenting consensually with the drug that's like put into her with like a syringe. Mm-hmm. Injected. That's what I was thinking of. I'm trying to think of.
You got there.
I got there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I think there's a big unanswered question with that. But I think Death Walks at Midnight provided like a really good mystery thriller about a murderer and a pretty decent plot twist. A pretty decent one. I didn't expect it coming. But I think with when you're watching mysteries, you hit a point and you're like, oh, it's them. Oh, it's this person. Oh, it's that person. It's got to be that person. That's it. That's that person. So I think by the end of the movie, I had guessed the character at least once. But I had guessed every character at least once because it really did seem like, oh, this isn't making sense. This isn't exactly linear, which I liked. Best part of the film, honestly, the soundtrack. Whew. Oh my gosh, the jazz fusion.
Giallo soundtracks are incredible.
Yeah, co-signed.
I love it. It was I think it gives that spy thriller kind of feel, but very well acted, not like cliched, which is good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I haven't rated it on Letterboxd yet, but I think I'd give it 3.5.
That's exactly what I've given it. That's exactly.
Yeah, really well acted. Funny little thing with this, I watched when you put in the DVD, and the DVD asks you. I don't know if Bill, this happened with you, because I know you got the other Death Walks. It asks you, do you want the Italian version or the English version?
Yes.
And I don't know why, but like when I put the English version, I thought it would mean English subtitles, and I'd still hear the Italian. You know what I mean?
Oh, like you didn't think it was gonna be a dub. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
do you want everything in Italian or do you want everything in English? And I was like, oh, well, I want to read in English.
I would say, man, like, you know what it is? There is a move. There is moves against dubbing recently, in some ways. By the way, sorry, and I know you guys know this, and I don't have to tell you this. It really takes away something from a film when you're not watching it in its original language. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It
And
really takes away something.
I didn't last 10 minutes. I was like, I can't do this.
I would like to jump in here very quickly.
Okay.
And this is in no way in like me saying like I am full dub person because I no, but so very specifically for Giallo films. This is very specific to Giallo films.
Yeah.
For English markets, while at the same time of these movies being made in Italy, they were making the dub at the same time. So it wasn't like years later we have random people that are dubbing over this movie and then the director has a say in who they have dubbing the movie. And sometimes that was used to confuse audiences more of who is actually the killer because everyone would be so weird with how they would like be delivering lines or saying things that they would try to make it add to the mystery of why is a character saying it like that? Like that's weird.
Yeah, it's
like
not
you're
effective.
it depends on the movie. I will say, in this case, very much so. The Italian is a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Italian is such an artful language, and
beautiful.
you get such like emphasis on the you know, I don't know, they're saying I don't know something as little as like I don't know shit. I'm like whatever. I love Italian. It's the languages I learned in high school, and I just it is not the same. I mean, even in like the first 10 minutes, obviously there's like a scream, right? It's a horror movie, and in the American version, well, you know, you see that you're watching this scene, and the woman's making a face that she's screaming, and you know, in the Italian version, it would be like ah, and in the English dub, it's like ha.
Yeah.
It's like not enough. It's like not enough at all.
Yeah, and so at that point, and I was like, I can't do this. So
yeah, but it depends on it. Like for Dario Argento movies, he would just get like the best actors, didn't matter what nationality. So then it would be dubbed.
Yeah. I don't want to generalize with dubbing, but with this movie, I'm glad I watched it Italian.
Yes.
With subtitles and yeah, and you got that classic like 70s. Is it 70s?
Yep, it's 70s.
Yeah, that classic like 70s feel where it's not really gory anymore. I think back then it was probably gory. I watched like the director introduction to it, which was fun. But it's funny because like the it's like a retrospective. I think with him, he's old. He's much older, and he's like he kind of hints at the fact that like it's a dated film. You know, the effects are gory, but it's a dated film, and he's right. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
I'm glad.
Cool.
Thank you, Ryan.
That is awesome. I didn't watch that movie. I was very quiet because I had my own dang one to watch. But I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal any thunder. Unless you have any concluding thoughts. Either
no, go. You could start talking about Death Walks on High Heels.
Death Walks on High Heels. It feels like a good transition point for this. This is very interesting, right? So kind of, you know, this is a 3-part trilogy. I guess, Ryan, this is like question. I'm ready for some crazy reveal. Is the third part of the trilogy like clearly the weakest, or
The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion?
That is terrible.
That's the first one. So that's the first one. The second one is Death Walks on High Heels, and the third is Death Walks at Midnight.
Oh,
so you're getting the refined product, Nick.
So what I'm gonna say is, I think the first one, The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion, is the worst of the three.
Why is that, would you say?
That's one of his first Giallo films. I think he didn't fully have the I remember the twist not being great in it, which the Giallo films kind of, you want the twist, like that's the big thing. Sometime, like somewhere in the movie, and it, while it had great performances, it's I of the three, it's the weakest. I gave it 3 stars. That one,
Gotcha.
but I will say Death Walks on High Heels is my favorite of the three.
Okay, I liked it a lot. Is going to be my initial kind of like blanket statement, and maybe that I'm kind of cutting to the chase kind of quickly there. There is some interesting kind of like okay, your movie, Nick, was a mystery. This movie is like a who done it, almost overclocking my brain power to be able to suspend certain disbelief and like just like I'm like I was like after a certain point I'm like I'm just gonna accept this as it goes. As a result, it does have some very soap opera type, like twists and turns and everything. It also features like technology and sort of like conceits that I didn't think, like those movies were 1971, right? There's somebody with a voice changer. There's the idea of like eye surgery to like there's lots of with eyes. This movie's very concerned with eyes.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil too much, Nick, but it's a major talking point in the movie that the main, I guess, the first acts, and it changes a lot. The antagonist of the first act has a very striking feature, despite them like being mostly covered up in their initial, like basically it's like a young woman is like put upon by an entity, right? And I call him the entity because it's sort of like he doesn't make his like intentions super clear, like why he seems to sort of like be I mean, he has a clear reason. He believes that she is in possession of diamonds, and honestly it's this weird like where her father was a thief, used to be a thief. There's all these weird kind of like kind of like crazy things going on, but he has striking blue eyes, and it's one of the main things that he remembers about her, even though he's wearing like a ski mask in this initial kind of like like confrontation with her. There is there's a lot of giallo elements to this that kind of come up that I think are very good. Circumstances like focusing on small details in certain investigations, like the procedure of the investigation. It's like, oh, like this person did this specific thing, or like interesting, like their story differed at this one point, that kind of idea. I don't know if you want to speak to any more things that are like. So I know you're the giallo expert, Ryan, but I will say the one complaint I kind of have with this movie is sort of what I mentioned before, where I like whodunits, I like mysteries, like I like things. There's almost so many twists and turns that it's hard to even like keep characters straight at some points. Like little subtle things where it's like, oh, when he came out of the surgery he was asking for a woman by this name, but that's weird, his wife is this name, and it's like oh, like, did you catch that? Like that's a really important important plot thing for the rest of this like movie. And I was like whoa. Like, it's hard to know what's important and what's not. It succeeds. I was there's a very late it's not what you think it is like moment at the very end of the film that I have mixed feelings about. I liked it though. I liked its vibe a lot. I would certainly say it does, in the giallo style, has direction that I would say reaches into overacting. It doesn't disserve the movie though, or disserve the story of the film. I think it's great. I think it's great. Not my most favorite giallo, but certainly a competent one. So
Yeah. I get so some. I think what's great about giallo films is when you see the styles of the different directors and how they take these tropes that end up starting to come up and what they do with it. I think that the director that I gave for you guys, he loves a bunch of twists, just so many twists, and I think sometimes he could pull it off, other times he can't. I think he succeeds the most in Death Walks on High Heels, and I think of a very specific one, which is a massive spoiler, so I'll word it as a major character that you don't expect to be killed off is killed off. And at that moment, you're like, whoa, like, where is this movie about to go to? I think in this specific case for Death Walks on High Heels, I really love that decision, and it does get outlandish, and that's just a giallo thing. A lot of the times they were trying to do things that were happening in Italy, discoveries, all of that. That's why you get the voice changer in that. An example of this would be on Four Flies on Grey Velvet or Quattro Mosche di Velluto Grigio by Dario Argento. The big twist is dependent on basically the thought that whoever dies, if you look at their eyes and do a specific procedure, you could see the last few seconds of what they saw. That's not real. You can't do that. Yeah. But at the time, there was a belief that you could. So they put it in the movie, and Dario Argento now, when he speaks about the movie, says, I'm so upset that now that's in my movie because now there's nothing for there's no realism to it, right?
Yeah, it's a fault instead of a creative cultural twist.
Right.
Yes, and it's interesting because giallo films aren't always the most realistic. It's sort of these elevated characters that feel like they're overacting a lot of the times, but because they're told to. That's the point. They want them to be caricatures, basically. So that you're like, who is this character? What are they? Whenever you see them on screen, they're taking up the screen time. They're doing all of that. They're keeping that suspense, that mystery. But you could say, man, they are chewing the scene up too much. And I think Death Walks on High Heels has a lot of that. A lot of those elements just to the max.
My final concluding thought on Death Walks on High Heels is that I think one of its most unique things is its female protagonist at its center. Nieves Navarro, I am not that familiar with French films in general. I'll say this, I think giallo films, maybe with the exception of Suspiria, notable exception of Suspiria, and even maybe sometimes not when I get into what I want to talk about, how do you say, there's certain there's a general perception of women as neurotic and as sort of not people that are able to take agency over their own situation. I actually think Navarro, in Death Walks on High Heels, is quite likable and is found in this situation because of familial circumstances, and then is somebody that you can root for. You feel like you can root for her, and that is not typical of even some really good, and I would argue better received giallo films. So yeah,
I will say she's one of the best leading ladies / actresses of the time in giallo films. She's the lead in Nick's movie, Death Walks at Midnight.
Oh, it's literally the same person?
Same person. Yep. She went by the name Susan Scott, or Suzanne Scott.
Yeah,
that was her.
Scott.
That's her credited name, but same person.
bruh, the most.
She is a very good actor.
She
Very good
is.
actress.
That's so crazy that, yeah, it's like Suzanne Scott. It's like, oh, is that like, like a stage name or something? And it's like, she's like, no, this is my name. Like, like it's like, why did she go by? Because
Because they're Italian. They're all Italian actors.
Yeah, I think she's Spanish born.
Or Spanish. Okay.
Right? I think.
If I remember correctly, she was born in Spain.
Oh, but she is Italian ethnically?
Yes, but I don't want to...
Yeah.
I don't want to confirm or deny. I know that she is Spanish born. But...
Okay. Cool.
She's great. She's in All the Colors of the Dark, which has another, like, Giallo royalty, Edwig Fenwick and George Hilton. They're incredible actors and actresses in Giallo films. I think she's great. Yeah, All the Colors of the Dark. I did not like All the Colors of the Dark, though. That one's like a really famous one that people love. I did not like that one. I was so sad that I didn't really like it.
Oh my god.
She is credited of being a Spanish actress.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
A retired Spanish actress and fashion model.
I believe it.
Yeah. You could. Yeah, she's got a model face.
Yeah, she's incredible.
I really want to see this movie now. I can't wait to watch All the Colors of the Dark, and I'm like, this is like, whoa. Although I will say, some are calling it tiresome. Some are calling. I don't know how you can call. I don't know what kind of review of a movie that is. That's a certain level of not I don't recommend this,
And that's a Martino. Like, he is one of the big three that's coming out with Giallo films, and like I said, that's a really famous one that people cite as one of the best. I did not enjoy it.
So sorry, to complete the trio, it's Mario Bava, Sergio Martino, Mario Bava, and of course
Dario.
What the that was really scary because you know what it was? I spent so much brain power thinking of Mario Bava that I forget. I was like Dario Argento. Yeah, the big one. Yeah. Okay, interesting. You would say, man, we've talked so much about Giallo already.
I know. I just rewatched Don't Torture a Duckling recently too, which is a Fulci, a massive Italian name, a horror director who does Giallo films and just other weird subgenres. I love Don't Torture a Duckling. I watched it again. I was like, this 5 stars. I was like, incredible. That's one of my favorite Giallo films. I think that's top 5 Giallo film. But all right, we can't talk about Giallo films anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. Although we will at some point. I'll say that. But it's time to talk about Rosario.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Speaking about Spanish.
Yes. Dude, how'd you like this?
Okay. I'm going to start by saying the positives of this film.
Okay.
I love the representation that this movie has.
Okay.
I love how now we are starting to have stories that we don't really see or is like, hey, we're going to have a Native American story, but we're going to have all white actors and actresses. Or, we're going to have a Venezuelan story, but we're going to have all white actors and actresses.
But you're saying it doesn't do that.
It does not do that.
Whitewash. Okay.
Does not whitewash it at all.
I'm like,
Nick! White. I was like,
no.
I was like, Rosario. Okay, yeah. Nice one.
Yeah.
Real nice,
the main
buddy.
actress, I think, is the best part of this, mostly because David Dastmalchian does nothing. Meaningless character. I'm sorry, but that's about as much positive as I could say. It was bad.
Whoa!
What?
I'm gonna go out there and say it's the worst horror film that I've seen from last year.
What? Wow.
awful. And I was watching
no.
it, and I was about halfway through, and I was like, oh
Bruh.
my god. I was like, I need to go on Letterboxd and like see what people are saying about this. And that's where I saw the 2.1 that it has out of 5,
Oh man.
and looked at the reviews, and everything that I was thinking, everyone wrote. I was like, okay, like
Mm.
it's one of those where it has a great premise.
Mm-hmm.
It is very original in its story,
Mm-hmm.
but the pacing is god awful. While the main character is a good actress,
Okay.
she is written very poorly.
Oh.
Um any side characters or story that could be interesting is portrayed very boring until I'd say a moment in the final 20 minutes, which is a scene with the main antagonist entity showing the main character Rosario stuff through her grandma's eyes. I think that was interesting, and this is where I feel like awful being like, this was rough, this was bad,
Mm-hmm.
because it has such an interesting voice that has little moments where you could see it, and I love those moments, but just the movie itself was boring.
Really.
It just could not find its footing. You would get like, "Ooh, this is gonna get oh," and then it lets up, and then it's 10 minutes of kind of walking around, being like, "I'm done with you, Grandma. You've done me wrong for the final time." And then nothing happens another 10 minutes, and then rah, random jump scare from entity, and then she's like, rah, okay, let me finish the entity off and kill it. That's it. Yeah, there's a through line with an air fryer, which has a great payoff.
Okay.
I I'm really
That's
trying.
awesome. That's really.
I'm
that's
so
really awesome.
sorry.
Damn.
I was so
Nick-
excited. I watched this
Nick's-
first because I was like, this has such an interesting premise.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to
stinkers.
go.
It sounded like
Nick's,
our interesting
Nick's
premise.
stinkers. These are
Like,
Nick's
there's a
stinkers,
moment where the main
here.
character literally Googles on her phone how to break a curse.
That's
Oh god.
really.
And
tough.
I was like,
That's really tough.
oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Imagine writing that. Character looks up on Google how to break a curse. Like what?
Yeah.
What lazy writing?
And it just doesn't do things interesting with like the grandma has a whole entire back room with a cauldron, and you're like, why is this in this crappy apartment that she's in? How does she even have the space for this in this crappy apartment? But she's Googling half the movie. And then I think the movie finally realizes, oh, we've like really depended with her on her phone calling people and things like that. Like, we need her to lose battery in her phone. And then after that moment, she's like, oh, I've discovered my grandma's spell book of all of her stuff. And it's like, why couldn't you get that earlier? Why couldn't you start reading that earlier? That is a lot more interesting than her looking up on Google how to break a curse. Spanish evil entity that you make deal with. Yeah.
Sounds like a Hereditary ripoff. Sounds like we got a bit of a
God.
ripoff here. Well, you know, I've heard enough, Ryan. Clearly, Nick really doesn't want us to watch good movies.
Really?
Clearly, he's prepping
thing-
us for something. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. No, sorry. What were you
I
gonna
will
say?
say the thing about Rosario is, Ryan, it's hard to guess whether or not you'll like a movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if you think about this, Bill, but like there are definitely movies where I think, Ryan, you are more likely to disagree with the average rating of a movie than Bill and I are.
Hmm.
Is that fair? Yeah.
Yeah, I would
So
say.
you pendulum. I would say a little bit more than we do, like, you know,
Yeah.
and I think for that reason, it makes you a very interesting reviewer, Ryan. Like, you like what you like, you know, and you don't like what you don't like. I think it's great, to be clear. But yeah.
Thank you.
So I saw interesting premise, Spanish film. I didn't want, I knew I didn't want an English film. I knew I wanted to go foreign, and I saw like, well, let's see. I looked at the. I don't think I actually looked at the letterbox. I was looking at another rating, and I was like, all right, I wonder if Ryan will like this because of the premise. So, I'm sorry, I have to redeem myself.
No, you don't have to apologize. This
Not
isn't like a.
Yeah.
And because there's moments now that I'm gonna think back to in this movie, where I'm gonna be like, like the air fryer, like I said. Why is this even? Why is David Desmalkian wanting his air fryer? And there's a funny joke where like Rosario goes, "My grandmother is Spanish. She doesn't use an air fryer," and it turns out she actually has an air fryer. And
Clearly, you don't use an air fryer.
And like, there's another moment where this one, I'm like, what? She like walks into like the grandma's like secret lair of like her, because the grandma dies. That's like a whole like thing. And she goes
Really
into
like
there
that,
and she sees a used tampon. And she goes, "Oh my god, it's mine."
Wait, what?
What?
Did you do that?
There's a whole thing of like how she hasn't seen her grandma for a long time. Why does the grandma is in no way like this supernatural entity at any point. She's not phasing through walls, going to Rosario's house, stealing a tampon, and then, making her spell that she's binding her to. Which you find out she wasn't binding her. It's a stupid twist. But literally that moment of seeing her use tampon, being like, "That's mine." I was like, what? Okay. What did you just say?
Out of context, that sounds confusing. In context, it being confusing too is.
And can we please put David Desmalkian in more good horror movies, like Late Night with the Devil? Can we please do that?
Wow.
Yeah. He does nothing. He's one of those. It's a movie where it's like, oh, we need a big name, but like we don't have the money to afford a big name, so we're gonna get a good actor who's maybe not doesn't have the notoriety of a bigger name like an Anthony Hopkins or like something like that. Which David Desmalkian, within the horror realm, very well known, excellent character actor. He could carry a movie, which we see in Late Night with the Devil. He has nothing to do in this movie. And then in his final moments where I was like, oh, is this going to be a male savior movie? No, they just kill him off. So his character was meaningless the entire time. Bro got his air fryer, hit the entity twice with it, and died.
Damn.
And it took Rosario all that time of David Desmalkian fighting to think of what she was going to do. But half of it was cowering in fear as like David Desmalkian is being murdered.
See, this is a little unfortunate because I wanted to watch this movie. Maybe I still will. Maybe. Whoa, Nick, what if we watch it and it's actually really freaking good? And we're not trying to gaslight us. Why are you trying to gatekeep this movie, Ryan? Why are you trying to gatekeep this
Guys,
movie,
I'm waiting
bro?
for the whitewashed version of this movie. No.
Oh, yes. Well,
Backpedal.
Yeah, on that. But what's it?
It's like when in The Conjuring when they're like when they're saying La Llorona wrong, and they're like La Llorona, like
Llorona. Like they're like over pronouncing it, like so it's like, hey, we're being sensitive, like it's like so stupid. Interesting. I guess it goes to show you not the most well calibrated film, but
really unfortunately, honestly, really unfortunately. Will I watch something by this director again? No, probably not.
Whoa! Is that a
probably
no,
not?
Or is that a okay? It's a probably not. Okay.
Probably not.
No, long answer. Probably not.
Probably not.
Sorry.
You know what? Maybe I'll check out one of his short films that I've heard good things about called Milk Teeth, but
Oof.
we'll see.
Like that. I went to the dentist earlier, so that's
teeth.
milk teeth. Oh, well, I guess milk teeth refers to. Oh God, is it? Well, that's like baby teeth, right?
I don't
Is
know.
that what it refers
I
to?
just
Okay.
It's a spiritual successor to dog tooth,
I certainly
no.
hope not. I certainly hope
which
not.
is the movie that I got Ryan last year, if I do remember. Was that your first Yorgos movie?
No,
Yorgos
it wasn't my first Yorgos movie.
That's an early movie by him. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, early. Movie.
Okay. Yeah, that's like an early.
Yeah, he
Yorgos
just did
movie.
Begonia.
And looking at the reviews for Milk Teeth, it actually has some pretty good reviews. So
Okay.
you know what, this was the director's first feature film.
Okay.
All
right.
You know, go get them next time. Have you guys been seeing the memes recently? And then we'll get into Nick's last movie of like, point of view, you're a wide receiver in the NFL in 2010, and it's like, hey buddy, like you just got drafted in your first game. Have fun playing against prime Darrell Revis. Like, and it's like, oh, you had a rough game. Have fun. Now we're going against, like now we're going against the Cardinals. Have fun going against Patrick Peterson. You know,
I've seen some really good stuff, and like not to drag this too much, but I've seen some really good playoff stuff where it's just like quarterbacks. Like notably, there was some pretty bad Jalen Hurts ones where it's just like, where is bro throwing to? You know, where is bro throwing to? And people drawing in stick figures, like it's like where it's like don't worry, Jalen, like I made my original character for you to throw to, and it's like making like the perfect like clutch pass, like like and it's like
I saw one of those, and it was like the same thing, but the person that they put in also missed the ball.
What was bros doing? Well,
yeah. So that was what I was thinking with this one. Like, oh, like good job with your feature debut. Have fun showing this story. Like, we're gonna give you this writer for Fred 3. You know, like something like. But all right, I think it's time we go to Nick. I know that. Yeah, I won't reveal it for you, but
okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it to Nick. But first, we'll reveal exactly what Nick's about to say. Okay, on to Nick.
Yes.
Thank you, Nick.
Exactly.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick, for that.
Yeah. So yeah, the movie. There is a movie that we haven't discussed yet, but it's
probably the best movie.
Yeah, probably.
Almost
One of the
certainly.
movies.
Almost certainly.
I did not watch it. Now, was it intentional? Yes.
First of all, how dare you? Okay, now proceed.
I've just like failed on all accounts of this assignment.
Wait a second. We hate Nick. Okay, cool. Okay. Interesting. No, proceed. Go ahead.
Proceed. Is Savannah on the line?
Listen, swoop in.
Waiting in the wings.
I will say she would be waiting on the wings to talk about this one.
But go ahead.
I did. The last film is Perfect Blue. I did not want to watch this in a limited fashion.
Good choice.
It's only been a week since we last recorded. Has it been a week? Yeah, I think it's only been.
Yeah. A little bit over, like by a day or two.
Who's counting? Who's counting?
And I didn't have the time to sit down and watch a good, really good movie, and I want to, so I will give Perfect Blue its time, its genuine watching, not for an assignment but for entertainment. Hopefully I'm entertained. Maybe I won't be.
I would
I'd cry.
literally literally crash out of the century. Like I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it literally be like,
after my half-star review.
I might have to walk.
And I don't want to say this to add like unnecessary like pressure that it needs to be more than it is, but on Letterboxd,
Mm.
it is the number 1 ranked horror movie on the app.
That's crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
interesting.
And it is the number 1 ranked movie that came out in 1997.
That's even crazier, I would say.
Again, not to add any like pressure to it. These are just things that I want to point out that are good like discussion stuff once we eventually get to talk about it. Because I love it.
Yeah. Hey, I'd say in my opinion, sometimes those like best movies of the year can be quite deceiving. I think Sinners might have been snubbed.
Oh, I thought you were like, I thought you were doing a Sinners dig, and I was like,
No,
Nick, we just talked about how much you like the movie.
I can't. I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but I don't know. I don't know how it could be a better film than Sinners, if you ask me. But
I'm gonna go on record. And saying that that's a really difficult comparison to make. And Marty Supreme might benefit from some recency bonus points. It was one of my favorite films of 2025.
Oh, really?
Along with Sinners.
Okay.
So it really was as good as that. You know, it really was all that. And I was shocked to discover that. I'm really excited for you, Nick. It's like, twist our arm, why don't you, Nick? Like, I guess we'll just have to do an episode on Perfect Blue. God,
yeah.
damn,
No.
Yeah.
Episode Perfect Blue. What are we gonna talk about?
Perhaps we'll talk about peak cinema. I'll say this: I watched Perfect Blue at a good time in my life. I was going through. I was going through a messy divorce, or whatever. No, I was going through all the classic, this was really like peak. I feel like there's like a certain like fascination with like really good '90s anime films. Everybody talks about Akira. Everybody talks about Ghost in the Shell. Everybody talks about this film. There's a lot of good stuff going on. I will say I watched this on the big screen. I don't know if it needs to be watched on a big screen. I'm actually going to go ahead and say that it probably doesn't.
Okay.
I actually think it might be kind of interesting to view it just like a home thing, but you must absolutely do something for me, Nick. You must. Okay, listening?
Okay.
Very closely.
Okay.
You must watch this in the dark.
Yes.
12:00 p.m. Got it. All right. Windows open. Blinds out.
I need you to make the viewing space as dark as possible, given your circumstances. Good for this time of year. Easy to do this time of year, right?
Yeah. I have to say, so one of the parts of the reason I've been busy is because we put when we moved into our our house.
Yeah.
We're renting, but we're renting a house. When we moved in, the house didn't have. We get everything arranged. Like, okay, this is you walk into the living room. This is the kitchen. It's 4 bedrooms with a bonus room. I'm not bragging here. I'm just being serious.
But I hate this guy. Okay, guys, everyone listening.
Yeah, didn't watch Perfect Blue, bragging.
Send us shitty movies.
But had a dining room.
That's so weird.
Exactly.
What house doesn't have like a central eating?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, in the last couple of weeks, we have successfully moved our whole living room into a bedroom that's like a quarter of the size of the living room that we had it in. So now we have kind of a den. But what's nice is like it's super cozy. It's like super, super cozy, and it's great for watching movies because we can just close the curtain and that's it. Like, that's all we need to do. It will block out the light because then it closed the door, So I think it's going to be a good watching space. The sound is a little different, but Bill, I hear you. I will watch you in the dark.
And I feel like this goes without saying. You have to watch it subtitled, like the Japanese, like original. Like, don't do it dubbed.
I would say also just final note without spoiling anything. This shouldn't spoil anything. But final note is just keep in mind that was it 90? Is Perfect Blue
1997.
97. It was in a world where the internet was around, but not everyone was on there. It wasn't ubiquitous. I think that's just an important thing to say.
And there's a bit of a fear of what technology could become.
Right.
I mean, we're picking pre-Y2K.
Right, and also like I would also say there's like the movie is concerned with a certain degree of like preoccupation with when everyone's connected, like is that like a good thing or a bad thing?
Gotcha.
And I think the last almost 30 years has proven nightmare. But but it's
nightmare.
I was actually when I watched it like in the AMC, the Times Square AMC.
Nice.
I was taken by the fact that they were like, oh, this is like the internet. And like I was like, when was this movie made? And then I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, like 90s, like mid 90s, like sure. Like not everyone's gonna, not every moviegoer is going to be like totally, aware of what that is. They don't. And sorry, this is not a big point in the movie, but I was just like, oh right. And then I was like,
no, but it's a very interesting detail that adds a lot to the story.
Yeah, things to keep in mind.
Yeah. I would say
unaware.
after you watch it, or even before you watch it, if you want to like learn a lot of information with it, on the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs, he talked about it. He has a whole episode, and I think it's off of Shudder now, the one with him with the movie attached to it. But there is his Just Joe Bob, where you could watch it, and it'll tell you where to pause the movie, and then start playing again him, where he'll speak about it, give you information, where to start it again, where to stop it, and he'll talk. So he just gives a lot of information that is very, very good. I mean, I'm going to rewatch it before we talk about it.
Me as well. I have an off. I'm gonna code talk a little bit here. I was with a group of friends when I went to see the movie, and there were certain substances being consumed, and they said, "Bill, have you ever seen this movie before?" And I was like, "No." And then I took that substance, and then they're like, "I don't know if that was the greatest idea." But let's just see.
Oh, you were done for.
I'm just gonna say, obviously, however, certain things affect your viewing of movies. I would say that it created a very paranoid atmosphere. It enhanced an already very paranoid atmosphere that was present in the movie.
Like, I need to know how you reacted, like, to the shot of, like, without spoiling, because, like, Nick won't know this, but, like, the...
Yeah, so...
Well, there's a picture of that on the cover.
Yeah.
On the back.
Oh, wait, really quick.
It's an iconic shot.
Yeah.
And, like, once you get the context of it, like... Mm-hmm. But...
It's we'll talk about it when we go, and, like, I'm happy to share that experiences, and, like, like, as much...
When we talk.
When we talk about it. But, until then, right?
Yeah, I mean, with all of that being said, I told you guys at the start that I watched one more movie that I wanted to talk about. It was the movie that I gave Tina for Christmas.
Oh.
Called The Peanut Butter Solution.
Bro, that's why the Wikipedia page was up on my thing. I was like, The Peanut Butter Solution? Why the fuck was I looking into this movie? Okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's
the
deal, bro?
Oh boy. Okay. Absurdist Canadian comedy movie that's based off of a book series at the time, and I'm not gonna go like crazy into detail about this movie. We're gonna wrap up like very soon, but I just wanted to say there's a jump scare in this that
Really?
I was so taken aback by, because it was Celine Dion.
What?
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 Celine Dion sings in this movie. Now, you may be
Okay.
like, oh, like, yeah, it's Celine Dion. This is before she was famous, before she won Eurovision. This
Okay.
is like pre everything, like
Yeah, this is an
upcoming
80s movie. This is an 80s movie. I think.
85. So
Okay,
3 years
wow.
before she wins Eurovision for Switzerland.
Was she like a teenager in this movie
Oh,
or
I don't know how old she would have been when she was doing it, but she sings 2 songs in this movie,
Wow.
both in English.
okay?
This movie was the first time that she sung songs in English and not in her language, French.
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The Peanut Butter Solution is the movie where she started singing in English.
I,
Oh
I
my god.
I remember reading something on the Wikipedia page that this has it's sorry, is it Skippy or is it Jif?
Yep,
It was like an ad movie. It was like an ad movie, right?
bad ad. Let me just say it.
Oh, like the ad is not favorable to the brand.
Because the whole movie is about this kid who gets so scared by the fright, as they call it, to where he loses all of his hair and goes bald. And
my
so
God.
kids start
It
making
is
fun of
scary.
him. There's a very funny sequence of like him getting like having a wig on and getting the hair pulled off, and the kids start making fun of him, and they're like, "Go cry home
Oh
to
my
mommy,
God.
hard boiled egg." Like that, the most insane thing to say. But so then he ends up hearing about a peanut butter solution from ghosts and how to do it, and they say from Ghost. Oh yeah, this movie has everything. It has a French man who has a dog named Jim. Like it has everything. And they say in the solution there you can only put in 1 spoonful of peanut butter. Do not put more. Do not get it anywhere else because hair will grow there. All right?
Wow.
So, he puts it on his head. He puts 5 globs of peanut butter on that bit. So, that hair is growing. His friend comes over, whose name is Connie, who, Asian character. Awesome to have some, representation of different characters. Funny thing, his sister's name is Mai Ling. So, you have Conrad
my
and
God.
Mai Ling. He goes, I want to use that for down there. And Tina and I are like, whoa! Like, that's crazy he said that. Oh, don't worry, that joke has a payoff. Because later on in the movie, they're in the principal's office because Conrad keeps on cutting the other kid's hair. And the principal goes, oh, you should probably be worrying about yourself. To where the camera pans down to Conrad and you see hair coming out of his pants legs. He did it!
No!
I'm in tears at this point. This movie is so bad. It's so bad, but it's so good at the same time. It's incredible. That I need to watch the other ones, the other tales. I know one's called Bach and Broccoli. I think there's another one called like The Dog That Stopped the War or something like that. Like I need to watch these films because what the hell is even happening? So on that note, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Bill and Nick for being here. Thank you for the movies. It was so much fun being able to rewatch the Rite and to watch the movies that I got. I am so excited to talk about Perfect Blue when we get the chance to.
Me too.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that some of you guys watched these movies because we talked about it. And, I hope that someone likes Rosario or someone likes Ravenous or someone likes anything. Death Walks on High Heels or Midnight.
Right.
I want, at the end of the day, we are here because we love film. We love horror. We want to show love in any way that we can. Even if a movie's a little bit on the rougher side, someone may fall in love with that and it might speak to them. So I hope that one of the movies tonight does that. And with that being said, always remember, don't do the peanut butter solution.
Amazing.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye, guys.